Because my camera messing up. Anyway, Ketanji Brown says she's not a biologist. She had a problem, well, a really hard time defining what a woman is. And this is the theme right now, I guess, in the Democrat Party situation, because she's over the transgender confusion between women's sports. And it's so confusing. And this is what happens when you take males who don't want to be males or compete with other males. They want to compete with the girls. And because they want to change their sexes, they want to compete with the girls. And they don't realize that their strength and their testosterone is going to hurt women because women don't secrete a lot of testosterone. So their bones don't need to be masculine. So this is why women are getting hurt, because when a man is running after a woman and he like tackles her or something, she's probably going to be hurt. Especially if the man is like 280 pounds and she's like 150 pounds or something like that. So Ketanji said it's very hard to just define what a woman is. Ketanji Brown, ma'am, all you had to do was bring a biologist in there, a doctor, a nurse, LPN, a gynecologist, somebody. Like, all of these people employed under the CDC, working at these hospitals and various doctor offices and outpatient places, you don't know what a woman is. This is game plan right here. And for a black woman as a judge to sit there and make that statement, it tells me that you don't want to disagree. So you're just finding a way to stay out of the conversation without making yourself look bad. That's what I think that she's doing. But that's a cop-out. So anyway, I'm just going to give you the knowledge that I know of what a woman is by basically living as a woman, being a student of science and biology for the last 15, 16 years. So I don't hide my knowledge. I just give it out. I give it to people. I might suggest or whatever. And sometimes I don't even suggest. If a person don't ask me, I don't give it. I'm giving it here because it's my channel. And another reason why, because I intend with this channel to just build a digital library. And it's just collections of news stories and science that I know. And I could give it to somebody, because if I came across some type of knowledge, it was for a reason. Because the Creator, He always reveals knowledge to you and truth. So why not give it? Why not give it away? I think Marcus Garvey had a saying, you keep what you give away. So I try to give away as much on this channel as possible. So when I close my eyes and I die and I'm buried, I was here. I did what the Creator wanted me to do, is talk and express, give away the knowledge that I've learned from being a little kid. And if there are women on this channel, find something positive. If it's negative, skip it. If it triggers you, skip it. If you don't like it, skip it. Go to something that you do like. I'm not going to get offended on this channel. It's hard to offend me. And the reason why it's hard to offend me, because I've lived long enough to understand who I am. And I don't take offense. because nothing surprises me, nothing's new, and I just try to stay positive. But anyway, back to what a woman is. If you want to know what a woman is, look at the sign Cancer and the moon. The moon is the ruler of Cancer. So most Cancer people should have a little bit of knowledge or a lot of knowledge about women. If you sit down and talk to them, you'll be very surprised what they know about women. So the moon governs the feminine energy. And the moon also governs the menstrual cycle. A lot of people don't know that. It governs the menstrual cycle. Every 28 days or 21 days, when the moon moves around, it affects the female race menstrual cycle. The moon also governs money. This is why women are so security driven and they are fond of money, because the moon governs the flow and cycle of money. So this is why money is so important to a lot of people, because you can't get the female race if you're not in tune with that vibe. And I remember Louis Farrakhan in one of his lectures, he said for women not to be ashamed of going after money. That's what you're supposed to do, because you are dealing with the moon. You can't help it. That's a built-in thing for you. So when people are trying to change you, they're trying to change the moon. They're also trying to change Venus. Venus also deals with women and femininity. Neptune is another one that can deal with women, because Neptune is still connected to the moon. Venus is all about femininity, the feminine energy, the feminine look, the soft look. That's a Venus thing. And if you're on a channel and you don't believe me, I have a sculpture. I think it's a Greek sculpture about the goddess Venus. And you'll see a big overweight sculpture with big breasts and a big stomach, which is the outcome you get in pregnancy. It just looks like a pregnant body. Look like you pregnant. Estrogen does that to you. Estrogen makes you gain weight when you are going to have a baby, because the womb is an incubation system. It incubates the child. That's why in Islam, the sun or the moon is the mother and the star is the child. That's the womb. But hey, people don't know this information. It's very ancient. It's very ancient. But if you study astrology, you'll see it. You'll see it. Especially if you're a woman, you'll be able to figure it out because you live it. You do it every day. Every 28 days, you go on your cycle. Your moods change. You got multiple personalities because you got multiple moods. Cancer also deals with water. So the water, the moon, because water is governed by Cancer. So anyway, when you look at this avatar up here of the woman's reproductive system, which is the breasts, and how you get breasts is adipose tissue. It's made from cells. When a baby girl is developing in her mother's womb, she has a whole nation of eggs on both sides of her body. So she can give birth to many people if her reproductive system is healthy. See, a lot of people online that are abortionists and stuff like that, that's anti-life, they won't be able to go into that because they don't care about the reproductive system. They only care about getting rid of something or not accepting nature, because giving birth is a nature thing. You go outside your house, you see a dog give birth. You see a cat giving birth. You see whales giving birth. You see dinosaurs giving birth. Not dinosaurs, but you see tigers giving birth. In nature, you can see this. So why is everybody having a problem with understanding what the hell a woman is? But it's not everybody. It's just a group of people. So I will correct that. It's not everybody that thinks it is. It's just a group of people that are trying to make a way for themselves. And it's like they're crawling in the dark, reaching for straws. And they are trying to find an identity. But women already have an identity. We already know who we are. We are a special kind of person. Very special. And I'm not talking about special like like God. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about special. And I'm talking about we have so many layers in the body that does certain things that people don't even realize. It's a drug that the breasts produce for a woman to feed her baby, to give the baby milk. Milk is what the breast milk in the Quran, it says the breast milk is what gives the baby its teeth. So be thankful that you got teeth in your mouth. Your mother's breast made sure that you got those so you could chew your food. Thank your mother for that. Thank God for that. Anyway, if you look at the uterus down there, go look at a picture of a crab. A crab represents cancer, the sign Cancer. The sign Cancer deals with the mother. And the star, in Islam, the star is the child, which would be Leo. Leo or Aries is the baby. This is elementary science that's ancient and old. But anyway, the moon governs the money. That's why money only moves in cycles. It moves in the cycle of the moon. So if you want to find out the cycle of money and the flow of your finances, look at the moon. You'll be able to tell what's going on. You'll be able to understand your female cousins and everything around you. You'll be able to understand what they're going through. Instead of just being angry because you don't understand them. It's not their fault. You need to go study. You need to go find out why women are the way that they are. But AOC, who's a Democrat senator, she's a Libra too. And I'm like, God damn, what the hell? God. I liked her too. I don't know. I thought she was really pretty, but I guess you gotta have brains too. So AOC gets on the floor, talks about birthing people. Who are birthing people? Anybody know who that is? A woman gives birth. Birthing people. Well, the dictionary says that's a woman. So why did you have to change that? The dictionary already said what it was. Like, people just want to change stuff just to be changing it. And when you change stuff, you're creating a whole new reality. And this is what they're doing. They're creating a whole new reality. And it's not reality. It's just creating. It's just like going to a drawing class and just create some shit. Put it together and then try to pass it off as reality. It's not working. It's not working. But anyway, the reproductive system is an incubation system. It's no more than like a garden. You go plant something in it, the seed is going to grow. The seed is the child. So your child is like a plant. And if you don't nurture it, you don't give it positive seeds, it will be a demon. Or it'll die. Just like a plant that's being neglected, ain't been given water, ain't been taken care of, it's going to die. In ancient times, men were known as husbandmen. And that's husbandry is farming and dealing with soil. The womb is nothing but soil for a child who is growing in the darkness, because only plants can grow in darkness. They get sunlight. They only need a certain amount of sunlight, and then they need darkness. And the womb is dark. When a baby is developing, there's no light in there. It's an incubation system filled with water and all kinds of chemicals that the body has made. And the reproduction system makes a whole house for the baby when it's in there for 9 months. The fallopian tube and all that makes a plug from the baby to the mother. And the baby doesn't even have to learn how to eat until it comes out. So the baby, whatever the mother eats, the baby eats. So, birthing people, menstruating people, call it what you want. Nature is feminine, and you can change the definition of women all you want to, but you will not change a woman from what God intended her to be. You're not going to change that. You can physically change it with plastic surgery, but there's going to be some repercussions. I mean, in ancient times, they wrote about the womb and how the womb has mathematics dealing with it. Like, Malcolm X even talked about it. But these people are now having a hard time defining what a woman is. Yeah, okay. Is it more like erasing women? Are they trying to erase women? You would have to erase the moon. You would have to erase the moon. How are you going to do that? Because the moon is working every day. There are baby girls being born every day. The moon has not stopped working. The moon is reproducing women by a large number. There's babies being born everywhere. I saw somebody that was pregnant yesterday. I saw like 20 people pregnant. So the moon is working overtime. And you'll know the moon is working overtime because my mother used to tell me, When you see a lot of deaths, a lot of babies are going to be born. So don't be alarmed and don't be afraid that people are dying. You have to die to live. That's what the Rosicrucian said. You got to die to live. And you got to come here in an incubation system carried by a feminine woman. Nobody else can do that. Even in the Bible, when they talk about Eve, her punishment was childbirth. So she was thrown under the direction of the moon and stuck with giving childbirth because she believed that snake in the garden. That's an astrological story. It's not, it's astrological, but it's manifested reality through the duty of a woman. That's what a woman is. That's her duty. Giving birth. Caring for children. And that's what a woman is. And not every woman is here to give birth. So I'm just going to make that clear. Every woman's not here just to give birth. But that's one of the main jobs. And the more that we try to get out of it, the worse things are going to become. Because you're not here to carve out your own way. You already got a way that's already been made before you came here. Whatever your birth date is and whatever time, that's set in stone for what you're supposed to be here. You can try to get away. You can try to change. You can try to disobey. It's going to manifest regardless. So, if you're a woman on this channel, go look at the video about the goddess Venus. The Greek painted the sculpture of a big woman or a big pregnant person, big breasts and a big stomach. And that's Venus because a woman looks like that when she gets pregnant. And then months after having a baby, you still kind of look like that. So, and that's another reason why there's an uptick in mommy makeovers from plastic surgeons, because once you carry that baby for 9 months, they call it diastasis or something like that, where your stomach does not go back to the same shape it was before you got pregnant or before you had children. And that's why a lot of women are dying on tables, because they're trying to get back their youthfulness and their shapes before they gave birth. It's inevitable. We are under the moon, and the moon is very spiritual, it's very powerful, and it is nothing to play with. Nothing to play with. The moon causes storms, hurricanes, all kinds of shit. So, if you're looking across social media and the news and you see people referring to us as birthing people or ministering people or hair hats, all that shit is entertainment. Because after you shut this off and you get offline, the moon is still working 24/7, producing baby girls every day. Mars is working too, producing men every day. So, but the men, that's a whole different thing. They have a whole different structure, whole different spirituality, because Mars is giving testosterone. So, I will talk about men on here too, but right now I'm just talking about women, because they're not really talking about men in Congress. Men, they're not worried about, women trying to take their rights in like sports. So they ain't got nothing to worry about. They just got to worry about their mates in the women population. That we need to worry about that because a group of us seems to don't understand what a woman is or the spirituality behind it. And I do understand why people don't know because in ancient Islam, they kept that science up and going. Muslims know the science, but not everybody else does. So I guess Muslims need to start talking and revealing what women, what they are. What's the spirituality behind the woman? Where does she come from? What does she do? What is her purpose? And also, too, online, you're seeing a lot of violence against women. A lot of hate against women. And Tupac said that this would be. He already had spoke it into existence. When he said you will have a race of babies that will hate the ladies that make the babies. Now having babies is wrong. I've sat there and watched somebody literally put down a person for having 5 or 6 children. When I was told, when I was coming up, children are a blessing. They're sent from on high. They are a star. They're a soul before they get here. They're already in the sky. They pick their parents. In astrology, a soul picks its parents. And the first person that a soul picks is his mother. So, the disrespect, do what you do. It's etched in stone and in history what a woman's job is and what her purpose is and what she does. So, I don't think there's a need for femininity or feminists to do all of this. Because if you just live your life how women live and be productive, follow your life path that was set in stone, you ain't got to worry about all of this nonsense. I didn't really thought it was important to address it on this channel, but I see what's going on. And I also understand, I want to know why the CDC is not in these court cases. Because the CDC has a lot of history on women's health and what a woman is. And you got people up in the fucking courts trying to define what a woman is, and you got a black woman sitting up there saying she can't define it. She's not a biologist. Well, ma'am, please resign and go find us a biologist. That would be better. Just like they put that doctor in office that was under Trump, they need to put more doctors in office because you got ignorance going on right now. And the ignorance is mainly coming from the Democrat Party. Like the degeneracy that they are pushing, it's unmatched. And it's just crazy. And people are just running from that party. So it's just like, come on now. We gotta get back to reality. But I understand, that's what they're doing. They need ignorant people to govern. So if you want to be ignorant, you want to believe that a woman is a dress, some high heels, some fake breasts, somebody else's hair, a womb transplant that won't never work because the womb it's like an electrical system itself, and the creator or the spirit of Isis does all of that before the baby skeleton grows in the mother. Isis does all that stuff. The spirit of Isis, them clump of cells, Because a baby is a clump of cells before it even turns into a baby. So those cells were gathered from somewhere by the universe. And those cells formed a ball, a circle. And then it growed into like a tadpole, like how you see tadpoles and frogs. That's every living thing on the planet Earth looks like a little tadpole. That's, you know, it comes from sperm. When sperm enters the woman, the sperm sheds the tail and turns into a ball, clump of cells. Then it turns into a little nine. And then it started growing legs, started growing 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, teeth, hair, everything. It has a system, it has blood, it has everything. So that's what a woman is. And I wanted to put this on the channel because if you're trying to figure out what the hell is going on, this is what's going on in the news. People are having a hard time defining women, but they see women every day. It's a game, folks. It's a game. They need us to be ignorant so we can play in this fairy tale that they keep trying to create. And I'm not interested, so I don't even pay it no mind. I just go over it on my channel, speak to it, and don't give it life. Because a lot of people are silent. And when you're silent, this is what happens. A lot of reality, things that are real, you got people questioning basic reality. And it just tells you that people are very misled, and certain government officials need you to be this way so they can continue to get votes from you, continue to take your money, continue to have you in darkness so they can continue to govern you. So, nature is feminine, and nature is a tool that the Creator uses to manifest reality. And when you play with that system, I was told by my parents, when you play with that type of system that's already made and the Creator uses it to cleanse and purify the earth of good and evil or degeneracy, and you play with it, there's going to be disaster. Storms, winds, earthquakes, you name it. So, we're not birthing people. We're not administrating people. We are not cisgender or whatever the fuck that shit is. We're not any of that. We are from the divine feminine. The ruler is the moon. Cancer rules our reproductive system. The moon, the moon regulates every woman on earth menstrual cycle. The moon is like a satellite. The moon also gives the woman all kinds of intuition. Why do you think women always know when a man has cheated on them and he trying to figure out how she know that shit? You don't realize the moon gave her that goddamn shit in the time she was sleeping and she was having them dreams. The moon was transporting that information to her. And you wonder why she kicking you out and stuff, and you're trying to figure out who told. It was the moon. Every time I was in a relationship and something was going on, I knew. Feminine intuition. Very, very powerful. My mother used to tell me about intuition and how you see things before they come. You know things before they happen. The woman's intuition is powerful. And the woman that doesn't know her own intuition, it is a sad situation. It's a sad situation. So, if you're a woman on this channel, try to find things about women in the past. Even if you got to go to ancient times, read that stuff. Because history repeats itself. And at one time, women in Eastern countries were being killed in they call it fanticide, where women or babies, female babies, buried alive because families wanted a boy or a male. And they started ordering killings of baby girls. You know, so down through history, there has been a lot of cruelty with women. And this is why you have the feminists online and everywhere else, because you didn't have anybody in the past that were actually protecting women. So the feminine is the feminist group. They veered off a cliff, because I don't understand what they're doing now. I don't understand it. I don't understand why they're just not teaching health, women health or something. I don't understand the radicalism. So I think I've covered pretty much what a woman does, a woman is, you know. So that's what's going on. And if you see this, just keep it moving. A lot of people are getting butt hurt over this situation. And the women that are getting offended or getting injured in sports by these transgenders playing in their sports, these transgenders are going to have to pay these women who they injured. So I'm not worried about it, because why would you put yourself in a situation to injure somebody all because you want to be something or do something, or you feel that you should be able to compete with these women who carved out a space for themselves, and you now want to compete with them? Like, that shit is crazy. And a lot of people are going to be getting sued over this transgender stuff. Doctors who have coached these people into surgeries are now going to the courts and suing the doctors who made them get transitions. And it's a big ass mess. And it's all because of plastic surgery, in the name of plastic surgery. Like, past plastic surgery, actually, they said it's a Pluto and Libra thing. Because Pluto and Libra is when plastic surgery came into being, which, like China. China, that's a Chinese culture thing. And the one thing I was taught by my parents, stick to your raising. When you are in trouble, study your forefathers. Don't follow other races who are doing other things like plastic surgery or introducing plastic surgery to a whole group of people. You know, it's not good. So if I want to correct myself, I look towards a forefather. And I suggest anybody who's looking for positive information in this time, find a find your forefather. Find one that is has completed a goal, was great at something, invented something, and try to be like them. That's what I was taught. Find a good role model, whether it's in a book or whether it's a physical role model, and follow them. And model your life in positivity. So that's what's going on. Women have now became birthing people, administrating people, cisgender, bitch, hoe. Like, we got a lot of building to do. We got a lot of building to do. We got to get out this ditch. We got to get out this ditch. So tell me what you think. Aren't you subscribed, Salome? Have a great day. Thank you for exercising with me this morning.